Okay, I know that you have seen people, I've done it, you've seen me do it. You've seen people here on the internet take one piece of content and create multiple pieces of content on other platforms using that one piece. If I take this YouTube video and I turn it into an Instagram reel or a TikTok, I know you've seen that, you probably want to do it, but I'm here to tell you why you shouldn't, why you should not do that. Okay, first and foremost, before you come at me, I'm not saying everybody shouldn't do it. I'm saying that maybe you shouldn't be doing it. And I'll explain more as we go along, I promise, but we're honestly just gonna get right into it. If you have a team and you have the availability to take one piece of content like a YouTube video and turn it into multiple pieces of content like TikToks, Reels, YouTube Shorts, and you don't care whether or not you grow on those secondary platforms, then keep doing it. Because it can be a really great strategy to keep you relevant. So for instance, we create reels from every single one of my YouTube videos, and those reels go up on my Hey Jessica TV Instagram account. They don't go on my personal account, but they go on that one. And the reason is I just want to keep content going over there, and I want to just stay relevant on the platform, right? But what it has not done is grow the platform. Regardless of the fact that like reels are king and everybody needs to be using reels, I post reels a lot on the Hey Jessica TV account, and they still don't grow my account because I'm not doing them right. So if you just want to stay relevant on platforms, but you don't care if you grow or not on the platform, go ahead and repurpose. It's a great way to easily create content on the platform without having to do much extra work. But if you're wanting to grow on those other platforms, you really don't need to be repurposing because that's not what the platform wants. Now, I have talked about this for years, because one of the biggest things that I see with people, business owners specifically, wanting to do when they start a YouTube channel is repurpose content they're creating somewhere else and put it on YouTube. It used to be, I'm gonna take my Facebook Lives and put them on YouTube. Now, most of what I see is I'm gonna take my podcast episodes that I record on Zoom and put those on YouTube. And I have said from the very, very beginning, don't do that. And that's what I'm saying for the other platforms. Because if you want to grow on a platform, you have to create content in the specific way that that platform wants you to create content. Essentially, each platform has its own language and culture that it wants you to fit into. It wants you to speak the language and fit into the culture. So if you are taking YouTube's language and YouTube's culture and just chopping it up into a vertical video and popping it on Instagram, it's basically like you went to another country speaking English and they were like, listen, I don't understand a word you're saying. We need you to speak our language, right? Now I need to pause right here because I need to say something very important because I don't want you to misconstrue what I'm saying, okay? You do not need to be on every platform to grow your brand, grow your business, whatever you're trying to do. You absolutely don't. And I do not recommend ever trying to be and grow on multiple platforms at a time unless you have a team to help you do that. So I don't want you to take this and think oh my gosh, she's saying I have to create original content for each platform when I don't have time to even create content for one platform. That is not what I'm saying at all. I just want you to understand that if you are trying to grow on multiple platforms, repurposing content from one platform to another is not going to work for you. What should you do instead? So if I'm telling you do not repurpose from anything to another thing, what should you do instead? Well, you need to speak the language of the platform you're trying to grow on. You need to create content specifically for that platform. For instance, let's just take this particular topic here on YouTube. Stop repurposing your content, do this instead, blah, 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 right? This YouTube video, I'm speaking YouTube language. I'm speaking the language that people enjoy to listen to on the platform and the algorithm wants me to create. I am sitting down, I have lights on, I have makeup on, I have a good camera, and I'm running through this in a YouTube type format. And that is what YouTube wants. That is YouTube's language. If I want to do the same piece of content on Instagram Reels, I need to convey the same message in their language. And right now, their language is Reels. And not only just vertical videos that are put up as reels, but reels that actually do what they're wanting us to do. And what I can tell you from Instagram is trending audios, trending voiceovers, things like that. That's what's going to work. So instead of sitting here and talking at you like I would on YouTube, if I want to convey this same message on Instagram Reels and have it do really well, I might use a trending audio. Currently I know there's a trending audio on Instagram where it just says shit, shit, shit over and over again. And what I'm seeing a lot of people do, like they'll say, when the marketing girl comes downstairs, you know she's about to film a TikTok or a reel, and that's what people are saying. It's like, shit, I don't want to do this, right? So I could use that same audio to convey the same message I'm getting to you now with less detail on Instagram Reels. So I could just have the text on the screen be, Jessica told me to stop repurposing content, and the audio just being different people being like, shit, like what do I do now? And then have the caption give them more. If I was gonna go on TikTok and talk about this, I would use the camera on my phone because that is the quality expected on TikTok. And when you go above and beyond that, it doesn't seem to do super well because people want that authentic approach on TikTok. And I would like sit down and make maybe a 3-minute video just explaining why you shouldn't do it and telling you what to do instead without going into a ton of detail and with less quality. Those 3 platforms have different languages they're speaking, and you have to speak the language if you want to grow on the platform. But again, if you don't want to grow on those platforms, you just want to stay relevant. So for instance, Facebook is a great example for that for me. I do not give 2 flying farts about whether I grow on Facebook, like 0%. And so we stay relevant on the platform by setting up automations that post my content that I'm doing elsewhere onto Facebook. So I don't really care if I grow, so repurposing is fine. But that does not mean you have to double or triple your workload because you can still repurpose the topics, okay? The topics. That is what you repurpose. And that is how you still save time and energy and grow on multiple platforms at once. Let me explain. So let's say my YouTube video is about passive income, 10 ways to make passive income. And I am sitting here and I'm doing it on YouTube and I am going into details on YouTube and I'm speaking the YouTube language. While I'm in the headspace of wanting to create content, go ahead and create 10 TikTok videos to give them 10 ways to make passive income in the TikTok language. So I would pick up my phone and I would be like, hey, welcome to my new series where I'm gonna talk about 10 ways to make passive income. And by the way, if you don't have an audience, like it's totally fine. Let's just talk about this. Number 1 way to make passive income is affiliate marketing. Talk about affiliate marketing, video done. Video number 2, the second way to make passive income. But I'm doing it in a way that is speaking the language of TikTok because I know what they want from me. Same thing with Reels. I can use that topic and be like, okay, I need to use a trending audio where somebody, like there was one for a while where it was that noise that was like, da, 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 woo, I want to dance with somebody. Is that it? I don't know. But anyway, it would say, woo, and people would do this. And when they would do that, all of the, like this list of things would come down the screen. On that one, I might be 10 ways to make passive income, text on the screen, me going, woo, 10 ways to make passive income flying down from my hands. That is Instagram's language. So instead of thinking of it as, I'm going to take the actual content that I'm creating, like this content here on this app, right? I'm going to take this content and I'm going to actually repurpose the content that comes out of the camera. Think about it as I'm going to do that if I don't want to grow on the other platform. That is totally fine. It's great, do that. But if I want to grow, I'm going to repurpose the topics and speak the language that each platform wants me to speak. Now, listen, little honey boo-boos. Do not do this for multiple platforms until you have help. You will burn yourself out. You will stretch yourself too thin. So if you're like, I want to grow on Instagram and YouTube, so I'm going to take what Jessica just said and do it. I'm going to film a YouTube video. I'm going to do Reels, whatever. If you have not mastered or have not gotten in a way or a consistent schedule where you can consistently put up YouTube videos every week, do not stretch yourself so thin by distracting yourself over here with Instagram and vice versa. If you're on Instagram and you're wanting to grow on Instagram and you really want to work on YouTube, but you haven't started yet and you're like, okay, this is a great way for me to do that, but it's going to take you away from Instagram and then your Instagram consistency is going to drop and then your growth is going to drop there. Do not do it. I never recommend anybody be focusing on growth on more than 2 platforms at a time. 2. And there will always be one that is more important than the other. YouTube is top tier for me. YouTube is the most important content I put out every week. YouTube is the content that I will put out even if I run out of time for everything else. The other things take a back seat, even if I'm trying to grow on the platform. And that is because even with full-time employees, part-time employees, contractors, I do not want to stretch myself too thin because then I burn out on everything and nothing's growing. And that's not good for anybody. Okay, all that being said, let's recap just a wee little bit. Repurpose your content from your main content, your podcast, your YouTube channel, your Instagram, your TikTok, whatever. If the second platform you're putting it on or the other platform you're repurposing for is not something you care if it grows or not, you're just trying to stay relevant there. If you are trying to grow on multiple platforms, you have got to create original content for each platform speaking the language of each platform. Otherwise, you're not gonna see growth. Will something happen and your repurposed content does really well a few times here or there? Yeah, probably. But it's not going to be consistent enough to cause you growth. All right, that is it. That is it for me today on this video. By the way, I got sunburnt yesterday. Yeah, I did. Everywhere actually. This arm's sunburnt, my feet are sunburnt. I don't even know what to do. I just shouldn't even go out in the sun, honestly. But listen, I know that this might cause you to have questions. And that's okay. Hit me up in the comments below because I hang out down there for like 30 minutes after every video and I'd love to chat with you. And until next time, bye y'all.